Welcome back to our Teams Better Practice learning menu. For this next element, we're going to be having a look at using Microsoft Teams assignments in a pedagogy first fashion. So there's lots of different ways that you can use Teams assignments with your students. Predominantly Teams assignments is around collecting work of some form for students. It doesn't have to be formative assessment. It can be homework tasks, just class tasks. But if there's some work that you want to collect and you want to be able to review and give feedback on, then there's many different ways to do that in an assignment. So you can see that I've got an assignment that I've made here for a Year 4 class around creating a class survey. You can see that it's quite user-friendly. Students can quickly and easily see what their learning intention is, what the task overview is, and their success criteria. You can see I've also got some student work. So student work and using these kind of templates or scaffolds is a really great way to reduce extraneous load for your students. So rather than having to come up with a document they fill out themselves or they create themselves, they can just work through something that you have already created for them. And so particularly for primary students, that is going to be a real win. So there's lots of different ways that you can use assignments depending on what pedagogy and what approach you're looking at. All right, so if we go to our main assignments tab in our demo team, you can see I've got a couple. I'm going to go to create a new one. We're going to click today on create new assignment. There's also new quiz and learning accelerators. Quiz is basically as if you've got a Microsoft form that you want to turn into a quiz that students complete within the Teams ecosystem. Great if you don't want to just have to share a link with them, but you want them to be able to go through assignments and complete that assignment. So we're going to go new assignment. Quite simple. You've got your area to add a title, area to add some instructions. You can add all kinds of things in those instructions. You can bold, you can add pictures, you can make that as detailed as you want. Then there's options to add attachments. So when I add an attachment by default, what you'll notice is that it says that students can't edit that. So that's really handy for task sheets, things you don't want students to be able to edit. But I can click on that and actually allow students to edit their own copy, which is where uploading things like scaffolds or templates is really great, because students can work within the Teams ecosystem to complete their work. They don't have to download, save, and risk losing their work. Down the side here, we've got lots of different options. There's options to add due dates, times. There's options around which students are assigned the task. Modules we'll come back to in a little bit. There's rubrics. There's an option to get AI to create a rubric for you. If you're interested in rubrics and some of these more advanced features, I have added a link within the Microsoft, the learning menu to a Microsoft resource that will allow you to go a little deeper into some of these Teams options. There's also the option to add points and tags. Within the options button up here is where we find the Turnitin integration if you want to check for plagiarism. We can also decide what team or what channel we want our assignment to be posted into. So let's say this is something for homework that I'm doing, so I might want it to actually land there in that homework and practice channel, so that I can direct students there and say, right, well, this is where we're going to go to do that work. All right, if I just discard this one for a second and head back into my assignment here, you can see that this is what I'm going to get. So I'm going to get a list of all of my students here and all of their work. I can click on that and I can have a look in real time, live, at how they're going with working through that. I can also see back on this page the status, so whether they've looked at it, handed it in. Another really great little tip is to click on the three dots and go to Student View, and that's where we were right at the very beginning when I was showing you my sample assignment here. So If you're projecting this up on the screen in class, this will be what the students see on their screen as well. So looking at pedagogy first within assignments, there's many different ways to use it. Like I said, to collect work from students, particularly when you're wanting them to be able to access things really quickly and you're wanting to be able to monitor and give feedback on their work as well.